the Mixer title won't even update. I'm kind of beyond caring. Welcome everybody to pretty much what will be, it is way too early for me to be doing this. I usually don't even wake up until 4. But, welcome everybody to what's going to be reveal news about the PS5, because this is how we are going to handle things in light of COVID-19. It's going to be a very interesting time of the year, because basically now everyone has to shift to an online-only format. I am stupendously excited because I have... I'm not excited this early in the afternoon. And I mean that when I say that. I'm not that excited. What do I think we're going to get? I think I could go into detail about it. I think I've already gone into detail about it before. The real question is, one of the big things is that's going to go on is backwards compatibility. That's now a new battlefield upon which Microsoft and Sony are going to fight. And because of that, all hell is going to break loose in the battle to try to reclaim customers from each other, to steal away hearts, or I guess I should just say win hearts and minds, because that's really what we're going to end up seeing. Is a lot of times they're going to take from each other in order to do basically more or less the same thing, which I can't really blame them. So I guess this is just how console wars go. I think there's a huge emphasis this time around on, if you're not going to have backwards compatibility, it's going to be you're not going to have a great time. I think that's kind of one of the things that they really want to force, is that people, once you buy a game, you can play it anywhere, kind of. You don't need to buy it 800 times in order to get the same thing out of it. You know, like, it's going to be a good chunk of that is what we're going to see a lot of. So I think that's going to be pretty cool, and it'll be pretty fun. But yeah, I'm excited, as I'm sure you guys are too. Basically, they're going to talk about the tech behind the PS5. They are going to go into detail. This is just your primer on what the console will be. I mean, I don't really need to say any 800 things about it. It's just going to happen, and we're just going to have to bear witness to it. And without further ado, I might as well just pull this up, because who the fuck really cares? And the only thing I don't even know if I can pull this up in time. Give me a minute. Where is it? Oh shit, that needs to be closed. Thank you. Okay, good thing I caught that. What is it? PS5? What the fuck was I looking for? It was the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life, and I can't find it. Oh yeah, YouTube. So YouTube, because of, and a lot of other websites, but specifically YouTube, because of COVID-19, they have basically given up. Here you go. I can pull it up in time, I think. Right? Yeah, there we go. With fewer people to review content, our automated systems will be stepping in to keep YouTube safe. More videos will be removed than normal during this time, including content that does not violate our community guidelines. We know this will be hard for all of you. Now, on one hand, you have to understand that COVID-19 is not a normal fucking situation. This is definitely like pushing us to the limit. On the other hand, YouTube's automated systems have long been a point of criticism and critique. And basically here, they just flat out admit that a lot of this is just not that great. I've seen a lot of people say, well, why can't they just review it from home? I couldn't give you the inner workings. I don't think that that's necessarily a bad point. I thought it was funny that YouTube themselves would basically admit, yeah, well, our systems are just going to kind of fuck up, and just please deal with it. And I'm not going to get too deep into the discourse of Team YouTube and their tweeting. Because I've seen a lot of cases of them actually respond to people and help them, and I've seen a lot of cases of them just basically completely ignore it. So that's going to be very exciting, I'm sure. That almost was the thumbnail for the stream I did yesterday, but then I forgot that I was supposed to do a stream yesterday because I'm a very responsible streamer. So what do you want me to say, man? I was tired. I'm always tired now. I'm stressed and tired. This is not how I envisioned the end of the world to take place. I'll say that. I expected a lot more nuclear holocaust, but whatever. I don't think they're going to announce any games. They might show off a couple. There might be like one surprise in here, but this is more for the tech. And honestly, I should get a fucking notepad ready so I can actually maybe have a podcast for once in my life again. Okay. This is the nice thing about recording off of a different browser than what I'm streaming, or what I'm... Yeah, I'm kind of streaming off of Opera GX. I love Opera GX. It's such a nice browser. I mean, it's basically just Opera. I don't know how it's a gaming browser. Maybe it has more resources allocated to it. But, yeah, whatever. And by the way, yes, this will be the whole stream. I'm leaving after this. I would definitely never stream this early, and I am not, I got other things to do. Boy, I can't wait to be hearing about COVID-19 longer than the actual quarantine was. My company forced us to work through COVID-19. The this, the that, the everything. The up, the down, the left, the right. It'll be like... And actually, I was meaning to go over this. They're premiering in 2 minutes. Fuck. Where is it? It's somewhere in here. There you go. My favorite Kotaku article. How BioWare's Anthem went wrong. April 2nd, 2019. Oh, you can't even see it because I cropped it out. God damn it. It is, it's a timeless article. I will go over it again at some point. It is a masterpiece. Oh, shit, you could scroll over like that. It doesn't affect the up top, but you can at least read the article. I would fix this up to showcase this article, because there was actually a sister piece written by Jason Schreier that I never went over. The human cost of Black Ops 4. I just flat out never went over this one. And now we're already on to Modern Warfare. This came out like 2 months later, and I just flat out never went over it. It's the worst. I should have. Because I like these. These pieces are always a great read. Oh, here we go. It was a fantastic read going through BioWare's Anthem and making fun of Anthem, because Anthem is a fucking sloppy mess of a video game. And I don't even know if it might be a disgrace to call it a video game. We might be disgracing the name of other video games. But yeah, that's been open on my computer as a Chrome tab for like the last year and a half. Or no, not year and a half. It was like just under a year, I'm sorry. And I just flat out never fucking closed it. I also have Anthem's apology of the same day in response to Jason Schreier basically taking a dump on their existence. And I mean, at this point, I think that's more than Anthem really should just get. I think that's more than they deserve. What have they really done in the last year? They promised they'll reboot the game, but it's a game nobody cared about in the first place. It was a cool E3 eye candy from like 3, 4, 5 years ago, and then just nobody remember. A lot of stuff gets announced at E3 that when it comes out, who gives a shit? Like, yeah, there's people who care. Everything has something, or everything has someone or some group that cares, but like, it wasn't some big shit. Oh great, it's a literal YouTube premiere. This music really annoys me for some reason. There's a reason I never do this. It's you know, I mean, it works for people. I've seen some good premieres, but it's the content, obviously. Just the YouTube premiere kind of just annoys me. But yeah, a lot of stuff gets announced at E3 that when it happens, it's like, who the fuck really cares? You know, and nobody really does care. It just kind of comes out, and people play it, and then they forget about it. And that's been a thing for over a decade. Needless to say. That's been around since... I thought my mic was muted. I was gonna fucking scream. Jesus. That's been a thing forever. Honestly. I wonder who was the lucky synthwave that got to produce this track. I mean, Xbox, I think, already confirmed that they can play any and all... Any Xbox title that ever existed, I think it's playable on the new console, including Xbox originals that are not playable on the 360, and 360 titles that are not playable on the One, if there's any that are left. So, I mean, there's big shoes to fill here, because Microsoft has the money. They don't care. They'll just throw it at it until it fucking works. They literally don't care. It doesn't even have to be anything serious, so, I mean, Sony is kind of the ones in the hole as usual. Uh-oh. I can't wait. Alright, and then it gets quiet at the end.
Unfortunately, we had to cancel the talk that we had planned for GDC. But we do have
that is pretty loud.
Exciting news about the PS5. And who better to bring that to one and only Mark Cerny. Without further ado, over to you, Mark.
Thank you, COVID.
There will be lots of chances that we will see PlayStation 5 games. Today, I want to talk a bit about our goals for the PlayStation 5 hardware and how they influenced development of the console.
Here we go.
No, I'm a big believer in console generations. Once every 5 or 6 or 7 years, a console arrives with substantially new capabilities. There's a lot of learning by the game developers, hopefully not too overwhelming, and soon there's games that never Now, it used to be that as a console designer, you could somehow intuit what would be the best set of capabilities for the console, and then build it in complete series. For the PlayStation consoles, that period lasted through PlayStation 3, a powerful, groundbreaking console, but also one that caused quite a lot of heartache as it was.
Yeah. And it was incredibly expensive. Finding new dreams, that's going to be the best part.
A lot of what we put into a console derives directly from the needs and aspirations of the game developers. We definitely do have some ideas of our own, but at the core of our philosophy for designing consoles is that game players are here for the fantastic games. Which is to say, that game creators matter. Anything we can do to make life easier for the game creators or help them realize their dreams, we will do. So, about once every 2 years,
Is this a COVID map?
I go to the various developers and publishers, sit down, and discuss how they're doing with the current consoles and what they'd like to do.
It's Corona time.
This requires weeks on the road, as reaching the bulk of the game creators involves talking to well over 100 people and something like 2 dozen publishers and developers. And it is incredibly valuable. By the way, the feature most requested by the developers, that was an SSD, which we were very happy
faster
with
load.
hardware, but a lot of problem solving as well. I'll be doing a deep dive on the SSD and surrounding systems.
I think that's going to be another bulk of a console. We're not using HDDs anymore.
Well, keeping the console sufficiently familiar to game developers.
That's a thing of the past.
Evolution and revolution. Now, with PlayStation 1, 2, and 3, the target was a revolution each time, a brand new feature set. That was great in many ways, but time for the developers to get up and running got longer with each console. In the past, I've called this time to triumph. Here's what I have for those 3 consoles. To be clear, I'm not talking about time to make the game. Developers will be ambitious, and it may take them 6 years or so to realize
I forget the PlayStation 1 was a box at first. I have the Slim with the sandpapered edges.
And and whether it's worth the increase in developer time needed to support it. So with PlayStation 4, we were able to strike a pretty good balance between performance and familiarity. We got required learning back to PlayStation 1 days. With PS5, the GPU was definitely the area that felt the most tension between adding new features and keeping a familiar program. Ultimately, I think we ended up with something under a month of getting up to speed. That feels like we're striking.
I kind of zoned out, honestly.
I'll go into a bit more detail later today about our philosophy with the GPU and the specific features.
I think part of that is because they ditched cell architecture. I don't know why they went with it in the first place. That's why it's hard to emulate PS3 games for them.
Which I mean something other than CPU performance or GPU performance and the amount of RAM. The increase in graphics performance over the past 2 decades has been astonishing, but there are...
They went back to 32-bit, I think. x86. Well, went back to.
That's why the SSD was very much on the list of directions to explore, regardless of conversations with game developers and publishers. The biggest feature in this category is the custom engine for audio. That's today's final topic. The push for vastly improved audio, and in particular 3D audio, isn't something that came out of the developer days. It's much more the case that we had a dream of what might be possible 5 years from now.
Those people aren't real. The shadow audience.
So here again are the 3 principles. The first being enabling the desires of developers.
Oh, finding new dreams, please.
To me, the SSD really is the key to the next generation. It's a game changer. And
Yeah, people in the chat are kind of sad they're not announcing games. That wasn't the point of this stream. I hate to be that asshole. This was said to be a hardware stream.
It was clear that the presence of a hard drive in every PlayStation 4 was having a positive impact. A lot of things that would simply have been impossible at Blu-ray disc speeds are now possible. At the same time, though, in
So I'm not expecting any game reveals.
having these conversations, developers were already banging
All I said was they might like play a game for 30 seconds to demonstrate. Doesn't even have to be a new game. This is not a direct. This isn't even a state of play.
Which is how long it takes to load a gigabyte of data from a hard drive. The difficulty being that hard drives are not particularly fast.
Yeah, they're not.
All your data is in one block.
They just generally are bigger and cheaper.
You can load 50 to 100 megabytes a second, depending on where the data is located on the hard drive. Let's assume it's on the outer edge, which means loading a gigabyte takes 30 seconds. If you compress your gig packages, you can fit more data on the Blu-ray disc and also effectively boost your hard drive needs by compression machine.
Yeah.
We support zlib decompression on PlayStation 4. That gets you something like 50% more data on disk and 50% higher.
I do feel bad for Sony. They see all these Z's. I don't know what people expected.
Data is scattered around in various files in the hardware, as well as sourced from multiple locations within these files. So lots of seeks are needed at 2.
Yeah, this is the clusterfuck scenario.
My rule of thumb is that the hard drive is spending 2/3 of its time CPU and only 1/3 of its time actually loading data. Putting all of that together, a gigabyte is very roughly 20 seconds to load. Now,
Nah, SSDs.
not much data. Games are using 5 or 6 gigabytes per RAM on the PlayStation 4, so boot times and load times can get pretty quick. Or to put that differently, as a player, you wait for the game to boot, wait for the game to load, wait for the level to reload every time you die, and then faster.
Or Bloodborne dying.
What if we could have
Base game Bloodborne was a shit show.
If we could load 5 gigabytes a second from it, what would change? Now, SSDs are completely different from hard drives. They
Yeah.
don't have seeks as such. If you have a 5 gigabyte a second SSD, you can read data from 1,000 different locations in that second, pretty much instantly. As for
This is the part where computers become magic,
this is the
honestly.
next gen we're talking about. So memory is bigger. Instead, we should be asking how long to load 2 gigabytes. And the answer is about a quarter of a second. I mean, that's amazing. We're talking 2.
That's a major jump.
Meaning very roughly 100
The summary's already out, apparently, thanks to Eurogamer.
a second for the SSD. The potential is that
We'll go over that later.
there are no load screens. The game just fades down while loading a half dozen gigabytes and fades back up. Same for a reload. You're immediately back in the action after you die.
It'll be very weird to have fast travel with literally no loading time.
Spider-Man summoned guards to being so blindingly fast that you might even have to slow down transition.
Yeah, it'll be very jarring to teleport, basically.
This is not the primary reason to change from a hard drive to an SSD. The primary reason for an ultra-fast SSD is that it gives the game designer freedom.
Yeah.
Or to put that differently, with a hard drive, the 20 seconds that it takes to load a gigabyte can sabotage the game that the developer is trying.
Yeah, Bloodborne. That was a major critique of
Almost all
Bloodborne.
of us in the room experience this, maybe in different ways. Say we're making an adventure game where we have two rich environments.
This is like an OG E3 conference before they added all the ball
Which you can
pits.
do as long as you have a long staircase, or an elevator ride, or a windy corridor where you can ditch the old assets and then take
Yeah,
30
that's what Mass Effect 1 did.
Having a 30-second
People complained about that too.
a little extreme. More realistically, we probably chop the world into a number of smaller pieces and then do some calculations for sight lines and run speeds, like we did for Haven City when we were making Jack 2. The game is 20 years old, not much.
It is? Fuck, I'm old.
There's a whole subset of level design that
Oh.
sort of work, but still.
Oh, it's not 20 years yet.
Distraction.
It's close. He rounded up.
So when I talked about the dream,
Because the original Jack and Daxter was like 2001. I get the point.
But also part of the
I just don't want to feel old.
As in, what if the SSD is so fast that as the player is turning around, it's possible to load textures for everything behind the player in that split second.
This is kind of what Ocarina of Time does, actually.
4 gigabytes of compressed data. That sounds about right for next gen.
Ocarina of Time kind of does something similarly.
Another strategy for increasing effective read speed is to make big sequential chunks of data. For example, we might group all the data together for each city block. That removes most of the CDC, and the streaming gets faster. But there's a downside too, which is that frequently used data is included in many chunks and therefore is on the hard drive many times.
Yeah.
Marvel Spider-Man uses this strategy, and though it works very well for increasing the streaming speed, there's a massive duplication as a result. Some of the objects like
A bunch of redundant calls.
hard drive 400 times. What I'm describing here are things that cramp a creative director's style. Either level design gets a little bit boring in places, or the data is duplicated so many times that it no longer fits on the Blu-ray disc. And you end up with hard limits on the player's run speed or driving speed. The player can't go faster than the run speed. And finally, I'm sure many of you have noticed that after a patch day, the PlayStation 4 will sometimes take a long time to install the patch.
I don't know.
That's just part of the fun.
I'm just
New
patient.
data can be downloaded pretty quickly. But before the game boots up, a brand new file has to be constructed that includes the change portion. Otherwise, the change would have to be C14. Even so, you can occasionally see the game files. They start to patch once they get patched. With an SSD, though, no Cs. So, no need to make brand new files with the changes incorporated. Which means no installs as we know today. There's yet one more benefit, which is that system memory can be used much more efficiently. On PlayStation 4, game data on the hard drive feels very distant and difficult to use. By the time you realize you need a piece of data, it's much too late to go out. So system memory has to contain all of the data that will be used in the next 30 seconds or so of the game. That means a lot of the 8 gigabytes of system memory is idle. It's just waiting there to be potentially used. On PlayStation 5, though, the SSD
Ooh,
is very potent
Jesus.
more RAM. Typically, it's fast enough to when you
These
realize
consoles are going to be pretty ridiculous.
you can just
But they're just kind of PCs at this point. That gap is becoming not even a gap anymore.
A different way of saying that is that most of RAM is working on the games we have. This is one of the reasons that 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 feels right for PlayStation 5. The presence of the SSD reduces the need for a massive intergenerational increase in size. So, back to the dream of the SSD. Here's the 7 targets. Boot the game in a second. No load screens. Design freedom, meaning no twisty passages or long corridors. More game on the disk, more game on the SSD. And finally, those patch installs.
No load screens is going to be really weird, because that's been a thing in games forever.
Just one piece of
If they can achieve it, that's pretty fucking, that's going to be intense.
and the game code that uses the data. You can see this on PlayStation 4. If I use an SSD with 10 times the speed of a standard hard drive, I'm probably
I think I do have an SSD in my PS4, right?
if that.
I think so.
For PlayStation 5,
Maybe.
our goal was not just
I don't think so. No, I don't know.
faster. It was that game loads and streaming.
I think I just have a really thin
Every single potential
PlayStation or hard
and
drive.
there are a lot.
It's a really weird thing to even consider.
What happens when its overhead gets 100 times larger? Conceptually, check-in is a pretty simple process. Data is loaded into system memory from a hard drive or SSD. It's examined. A few values are tweaked to check it in, and then it's moved to its final location. At the SSD speeds we're talking about, that
Xbox is back.
moving
God,
data
the chat is
from
ridiculous.
one location to another takes roughly an entire next-gen CPU. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. If all the overheads get 100 times larger, that will cripple the frame rate as soon as the player moves, and that massive stream of data.
There's actually one comment in the chat that's dead on. There is no presentation for gamers and developers. He's not wrong. He, she, they're not wrong.
The flash controller in the SSD
There is none.
smooth and
You either make one for gamers and it's real flashy and they're showing shit off, or you make one for devs. And this is what devs kind of have to sit through, because I know that because I fucking watched the original E3. I just never uploaded that video. I don't even know if I still have it.
a few gigabytes of texture. And while those textures
That was something I was gonna do. I was gonna watch all the old E3s. Someone took a camcorder to E3.
having multiple priority levels lets the
It's pretty fucking sick.
On one side, that flash controller connects to the actual flash dies that can supply the storage. To reach our bandwidth target of 5 gigabytes a second, we ended up with a 12-channel interface, 8 channels for the The resulting bandwidth we achieved is actually 5.5 gigabytes a second.
The real question is how this compares to PCs. Like, specifically, what year was this? Like the general gaming PC
The key question for us was, is that
standard.
it's tempting to add more, but Flash certainly doesn't come cheap, and we have a responsibility to our gaming audience to be cost-effective with regards to what we influence. Ultimately, we resolve this question by looking at the play pattern.
Dislikes have doubled. Jesus.
We examined specific games that we were playing over the course of a weekend, a week, or a month, and whether that set of games would fit properly into the system. We were able to establish that the friction cost of reinstalls, re-downloads, quite low, and so we locked in on that 825 gigabyte size, while also preparing multiple strategies so that those who want more storage can have it. I'll go through the details.
Perfect.
Back to the
That'll be
flash
pretty
controller.
nice, actually.
The other side connects to our main custom chip. We have 4 lanes of Gen 4 PCI. And inside the main custom chip is a pretty hefty unit dedicated to I/O. Before we talk about what that does, let's talk compression. PlayStation 4 used Z-Lib as its compression format. We decided to use it again on PlayStation 5, but on my 2017 tour of developers, I learned about a new format called Kraken for rad game tools. It's like Z-Lib's smarter cousin. Simple, similar types of algorithms, but about 10% better compression, which is pretty big. That means 10% more game on UHD, either disk or on the SSD. Kraken had only been out for a year, but it was already becoming a de facto industry standard. Half of the teams I talked to were either using it or getting ready to implement it. So we hustled and built a custom decompressor into the I/O unit, one capable of handling over 5 gigabytes of Kraken format data per second. After decompression, that typically becomes 8 or 9 gigabytes, but the unit itself is capable of outputting as much as 22 gigabytes a second if the data haven't compressed particularly rapidly. By the way, in terms of performance, that custom decompressor equates to 9 of our Zen 2 cores. That's what it would take to decompress the Kraken stream conventionally. There's a lot more.
Oh, okay, with conventional.
Including a dedicated DMA controller. The game can direct exactly where it wants to send data out of the SSD. This equates to another Zen 2 core or 2 in terms of its copy.
Has Microsoft detailed the Xbox? I think they have.
There's 2 dedicated I/O coprocessors in a large array of data. These aren't Zen 2 cores. They're there principally to direct a variety of custom hardware.
Maybe. I don't
One
know.
of the coprocessors is dedicated to
I kind of haven't paid attention. I was just waiting for E3, and that's not happening now.
and its bottlenecks we know. The other is responsible for memory management, which I know doesn't sound like anything related to the SSD, but a lot of developers map and remap memory as part of the final I/O, and this too
I mean, really what this means is that it's up to the devs.
to assist the coprocessor. Coherency comes up a lot in cases. Probably the biggest coherency issue is stale data in the GPU caches.
Yeah, someone in the chat said it. Bleach is returning as well. Yeah, that is true. That was like the biggest news of yesterday for me. They're bringing back the anime. I guess they're going to finish it. Because they never finished it. Just don't have a million fucking filler arcs and we'll be fine.
The best thing is, as a game developer, when you read from the SSD, you don't need to do any of this. You don't even need to know what your data is compressed. You just indicate what data you'd like to read from your original uncompressed file and where you'd like to put it, and the whole process of loading it happens.
Yeah, they're talking memory addresses and various portions of how the CPU and GPU and system memory interact. Most people are not going to fucking follow that at all.
And allow the dream of notebooks.
They just want to know there's a new shiny GTA. It feels bad.
Expanded billing of our SSDs.
But then people would well, some other people would complain if they didn't do this. So they actually could not win in this scenario. It was impossible.
If you have an extensive PlayStation 4 library and would like to take advantage of the backwards compatibility to play those games on PlayStation 5, then a large external hard drive is ideal. You can move your games on the hard drive and play them directly,
Yeah.
thus saving the pricier SSD storage for your PlayStation 5 title.
That's actually going to be pretty nice.
PlayStation 4 titles for the SSD. If your purpose in
I mean, that's literally what you do on computers, but yeah.
ideally, you would add SSD storage. We will be supporting certain M2 SSDs. These are internal drives that you can get on the open market and install in a bay in your PlayStation 5. As for which ones we support, when, I'll get to that. They connect through a custom I/O unit, just like our SSD does, so they can take full advantage of the decompression, I/O coprocessors, and all the other features of the storage. Here's the catch, though. That commercial drive has to be at least as fast as ours. Games
Okay.
rely on
That's going to be kind of pricey.
flawlessly. When I gave the wired interview last year, I said that the PlayStation 5 SSD was faster than anything available on PC. At the time, commercial M2 drives used PCIe 3.0, and 4 lanes of that capped out at 3.5 gigabytes a second. In other words, no PCIe 3.0 drive can hit the requirements of M2 drives with PCIe 4.0 are now out of the market. We're getting
I gotta buy an SSD for my literal this computer. I shouldn't knock it. I gotta buy one for this one. If we're all getting government issued checks, I mean, who knows? I might just use that.
Because that commercial M2 drive has its own architecture, its own flash controller, and so on. For example, the NVMe specification lays out the priority scheme for fast drives, and that scheme is nice, but it only has two true priorities. Our drive supports 6. We can hook up the drive to the M2 drive, but our custom I/O unit has to arbitrate the extra power.
I should have been taking notes. Fuck, I forgot.
And so the M2 drive needs a little extra speed to take care of issues that arise in the configuration. That commercial drive also needs to physically fit inside of the bay we created in PlayStation 5 for the M2 drive.
It needs to.
There's unfortunately no standard for the height of the M2 drive, and some M2 drives have giant.
This is important, people. Listen now or you'll fuck up later.
Right now, we're getting M2 drive samples that benchmark various models. When games hit beta, as they
Why won't my 10-foot tall SSD M2 fit inside the PS5 and be usable?
architecture,
You know that's coming.
isn't too foreign for the games to get. Once we've done that compatibility,
Can't wait for that.
we should be able to start learning which drives will physically fit and which drive samples.
Sony might directly link some, though, to be fair.
It would be great if that happened by launch, but it's likely to be a bit past. So please hold off on getting that M2 drive until we hear from us. Okay, back to our principles.
Oh, sweet.
Balancing evolution and revolution is the second. This
Oh, we're getting there.
We need new GPU features and capabilities. If we only have more performance, it's not really
Ray tracing, ray tracing, ray tracing, ray tracing.
Many of these capabilities result
NVIDIA hair works.
part of why the PlayStation 5 teraflop is more powerful than the PlayStation 4 teraflop. But we aren't just looking for performance. We also need the ability to do something with the GPU that could not have been done before. And we need higher performance per watt. Every time we double the performance of some GPU component, we don't want to find out double the power.
Yeah, that would be bad.
But at the same
Especially the
time,
heat,
we
as I
have to
learned.
ensure the GPU
Overheating your PlayStation 4 isn't that hard.
We have to ensure that the architecture is easy for the developers to adopt.
Yeah, see, backwards compatibility is a big one.
Handled masterfully by AMD. They treated it as a key need throughout the design process. As our solution to adding new features without blindsiding developers, we made sure that if there were new significant features, it would be optional to use them. The GPU supports ray tracing. You don't have to use ray tracing to make your game.
Yeah,
The GPU
it's optional.
you can release your PlayStation 5 without making any mistake. Before I get into the I'd like to make clear two points. First, we have a custom AMD GPU based on their RDNA 2 technology. What does that mean? AMD is continuously improving and revising
Kind of not a fan of AMD.
their goals were roughly
They're not bad, I just
to
kind of prefer
reduce
NVIDIA.
consumption by re-architecting the GPU to put data closer
But everything kind of uses AMD.
optimize the GPU.
They're usually less expensive. I like to say less expensive versus cheaper for a reason.
Our own needs for PlayStation
They're not necessarily the same thing.
becomes. So, collaboration is born. If we bring concepts
What the fuck is this? Oh, the Winnie the Pooh GIF is still on here.
can be adopted into RDNA 2 and used
Okay.
broadly, including PC GPUs. If the ideas are sufficiently specific to what we've come to accomplish, like the GPU cache scrubbers I was talking about, then they end up being just words. If you see a similar discrete GPU available as a PC card at roughly the same time as we release our console, that means our collaboration with AMD's succeeded. In producing technology useful in both worlds, it doesn't mean that we simply incorporated the PC model into our console. This continuous improvement in AMD technology means it's dangerous to rely on teraflops as an absolute indicator of performance, and CPU count should be avoided as well. In the case of CPUs, we all understand this. The PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 each have 8 CPUs, but we never think that meant the capabilities and performance were It's the same for CPUs. For one thing, they can get much larger over time, adding new features and
Oh,
adding
fuck.
transistors. In fact, the transistor count for a PlayStation 5 CPU is 62% larger.
Yeah, Mixer is not cooperating with me today.
Second, the PlayStation 5 GPU is backwards compatible with PlayStation 4. What does that mean? One way you can achieve backwards
I'm deleting this Mixer
is to look at
archive.
previous consoles' chipset and move them constant, like we did with some PlayStation 3s.
Yeah, and then they
This is
ditched it.
extremely expensive.
Yeah, that's exactly what they cited.
Incorporate any differences in the previous console's logic into the new console's chip, meaning that even as the technology evolves, the logic and feature set that PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro titles rely on is still available in backwards compatible modes. One advantage of
That's actually really nice. This is the next step, in my opinion.
it's in, if not as if a cost tag will remove backwards compatibility like it did on PlayStation 4. Achieving this unification of functionality took years of efforts by AMD, as any roadmap advancement creates a potential divergence in logic. Running PS4 and PS4 titles at boosted frequencies has also added complexity. The boost is truly massive this time around, and some game code just can't handle it. Testing has to be done on a title-by-title basis. Results are excellent. We recently took a look at the top 100 PlayStation 4 titles as ranked by Playtime, and we're expecting almost
Red Dead.
at launch on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, I don't foresee that being too much of a problem, honestly.
Said, our strategy was to try to break new ground, but at the same
Maybe on
time,
like a couple games, it might do some weird shit. It'll be some niche ass PS4 title. Will break the PS5 and let you jailbreak it.
processing, but for the most part, dedicated hardware is responsible for the triangles and other geometry that vertices form. That means it's not possible to do the basic optimizations, such as aborting processing of a vertex if all geometry that uses it is uncertain. PlayStation 5 has a new unit called the Geometry Engine, which brings handling of triangles and other primitives under full programming control. As a game developer, you're free to ignore its existence and use the PlayStation 5 origin. Or you can use this new intelligence in various ways. Simple usage could be performance optimization, such as removing backfaced or off-screen vertices and triangles. More complex usage involves something called primitive shaders, which allow the game to synthesize geometry on the fly as it's made. It's a brand new capability. Using primitive shaders on PlayStation 5 will allow for a broad variety of techniques, including smoothly varying detail, addition of procedural detail to close-up objects, and improvements to particle effects and other visual special effects. Another major new feature of our custom Art Engine 2 GPU is ray tracing, using the same strategy as the engine's other components. The CUs contain a new specialized unit called intersection engine, which can calculate the intersection of rays with rocks and tangents. To use the intersections, first you build what is called an acceleration structure. Its data.
This is why ray tracing is very, very complex.
There's a
Not a lot of games even support it yet, I don't think.
variations on the same concept. Then, in your shader program, you use a new instruction that asks the intersection engine to check a ray against the given range. While the intersection engine is processing the requested ray triangle, ray bonds, intersections.
And it makes things look weird too. I've seen Minecraft with ray tracing on.
Instruction is pretty memory intensive, so it's a good mix with logic. There's of course no need to use ray tracing.
Yeah, it's completely optional.
Just fine on PlayStation 5, but it presents an opportunity for those interested. I'm thinking it'll take less than 1 million rays a second to have a big that should be enough for audio occlusion and some reverb calculations. With a bit more of the GPU invested in ray tracing, it should be possible to do some very nice local illumination. Having said that, adding ray traced shadows and reflections to a traditional graphics engine could easily take hundreds of millions of rays a second, and full ray tracing could take billions. How far can we go? I'm starting to get quite bullish. I've already seen a PlayStation 5 title that's successfully using ray tracing-based reflections in complex and
I actually wonder if we'll ever know which one it was that he's referring to
another
here.
set of issues for the GPU involve size and frequency. How big do we make the GPU, and what frequency do we run? This is a balancing act. The chip has a cost, and there's a cost for whatever we use to supply that chip with power and storage. In general, I like running the GPU at higher frequency. Let me show you that. Here's 2 possible configurations for a GPU roughly the level of the PlayStation 4 Pro. This is a thought experiment. Don't take these configurations too seriously. If you just calculate teraflops, you get the same number. But actually, performance is noticeably different because teraflops is defined as the computation capability of a vector. That's just one part of the GPU. There are a lot of other units. And those other units all run faster when the GPU frequency is higher. At 33% higher frequency, rasterization goes 33% faster. Processing the command output goes that much faster. The L2 and other caches have that much higher bandwidth, and so on. About the only downside is that system memory is 33% further away in terms of cycles. But the large number of benefits more than counterbalance that. As a friend of mine says, a rising tide lifts all boats. Also, it's easier to fully use 36 CUs in parallel than it is to fully use 48 CUs. When triangles are small, it's much harder to fill all those CUs with useful data. So there's a lot to be said for faster, assuming you can handle the resulting power and heat issues, which frankly, we haven't always done the best job.
Wow, I didn't expect him to admit that.
Our process for setting CPU and GPU frequencies has relied on some heavy-duty guesswork consumption.
Yeah, I reached that infamously when I was playing Assassin's Creed.
Or on the PS4 Pro. I know the power consumption is high just by the fan noise. But power isn't simply about engine quality. It's about the minutiae of what's being displayed now. It's counterintuitive, but processing dense geometry typically consumes less power than processing simple geometry, which is, I suspect, why Horizon's map strip, with its low triangle count, makes my PS4 Pro heat up so much. Our process on previous consoles has been to try to guess what the maximum power consumption during the entire console lifetime would be, which is to say, the worst case scenario, and prepare a cooling solution that we think will be quiet at that power level. If we get it right, fan noise is minimal. If we get it wrong, the console
Yeah, you
is
chug.
loud for the higher power games, and there's even a chance that it might overheat and shut down if we misestimate the power too bad.
Again, the Assassin's Creed thing was kind of my deal, or my bad.
Supports 256-bit native instructions that consume a lot of power. These are great here and there, but presumably only minimally used. Or are they? If we plan for major 256-bit instruction usage, we need to set the CPU clock substantially lower or noticeably increase the size of the power supply.
So what did they do?
So, after much discussion,
We did neither of those.
a very different direction on the PlayStation 2. We built a GPU with 36 CPUs. Mind you, RDNA 2 CPUs are large. Each has 62% more transistors than the CPUs we're using on PlayStation 4. So, if we compare transistor counts, 36 RDNA 2 CPUs equates to roughly 58 PlayStation 4 CPUs. It is a fairly sizable GPU. Then,
How big is this console going to be?
Which is to say, we continuously run the GPU and CPU in boost mode. We supply a generous amount of electrical power, and then increase the frequency of GPU and CPU until they reach the capabilities of the system's cooling solution. It's a completely different paradigm. Rather than running at constant frequency and letting power vary based on
Hmm.
we run at essentially constant power and let the frequency vary based on we then tackle the engineering challenge of a cost-effective, high-performance cooling solution designed for that specific power level. In some ways, it becomes a simpler problem because there are no more unknowns. There's no need to guess what power consumption the worst-case scenario might have.
Yeah, because it's all
As for
similar.
the details of the cooling solution, we're saving them for our Terran. I think you'll be quite happy with what the engineering team came up with. So, how fast can we run the GPU and CPU with this strategy? The simplest approach would be to look at the actual temperature of the silicon die and throttle frequency on that basis. But that won't work. It fails to create a consistent PlayStation 5 experience. It wouldn't do to run the console slower simply because it was not real. So rather than look at the actual temperature,
That's actually kind of crazy.
activities that the GPU and CPU are performing and set
And bases it off that.
which makes everything deterministic. While we're at it, we also use AMD's smart chip technology and send any unused power from the CPU to the GPU so we can squeeze out a few mixes. The benefits of this strategy are quite large. Running a GPU at 2 gigahertz was looking like an unreachable target in the old fixed frequency strategy. With this new paradigm, we're able to run way over that. In fact, we have to cap the GPU frequency at 2.23 gigahertz so that we can guarantee that the on-chip logic operates properly. 36 CPUs have
The Xbox One runs more,
and we expect the GPU
but kind of expected that.
close to that frequency.
Because now I'm looking at this now.
Gigahertz was causing headaches with the old strategy. But now we can run it as high as 3.5 gigahertz. In fact, it spends most of its time at that frequency. That doesn't mean all games will be running at 2.23 gigahertz and 3.5 gigahertz. When that
Yeah, they have 825 SSD, like he said, in the PS5. The Xbox Series X has 1 tera.
only takes a couple of percent reduction in frequency, so I'd expect any downclock.
Their memory bandwidth is 448 gigabytes per second. The memory bandwidth of the Xbox Series X is 10 gigabytes at 560, 6 gigabytes at 336. So Xbox has them beat Oh shit, it's my favorite part.
That's what led us to a focus on 3D. As players, we experience
Okay, never
3D
mind.
through the visuals, through audio, and through the feedback we receive from the controller, such as rumble or happenings. Personally,
And the
I feel
CPU is more or less
audio.
greater in the
Visuals
Series
are,
X.
of course, important, but the impact of audio is
So the only way they can really take this one home is
Same
price
time,
point.
the audio team on a game project has to do a lot with a little. For example, on PlayStation 4, there's fierce competition for the Japanese
Price point and
audio
retaining
usually
people.
ends up getting just a fraction.
I mean, but historically, people do not buy consoles purely based off of what's under the hood anyway.
Consider that the visuals run 30 or 60 frames a second, but audio processing wants to happen at
As we know with the 360 and the PS3,
So,
historically that did not happen
forward progress in
for a
audio,
variety of other reasons.
particularly when the PlayStation 3 was such a beast when it came to audio. The SPUs in Cell were almost a perfect device for audio rendering. Simple pipeline algorithms could really take advantage of asynchronous DNA and frequently reached 100% utilization on the floor. There's unfortunately nothing comparable on PlayStation 4.
Well, last generation wasn't
Probably
true
the most
initially.
dramatic progress in the PlayStation 4 generation has been with virtual reality.
Oh god.
The PSVR hardware has its own audio. It supports haptics. This provides as to whether
And I'm reasonably certain the GameCube was more powerful than the PS2, and the Xbox was more powerful than the GameCube.
The first goal was great audio for everyone, not just VR users or soundbar owners or headphone users. That meant audio had to be part of the console. It couldn't be peripheral. The second goal was to support hundreds of sound sources. We didn't want developers to have to pick and choose what sounds would get 3D effects and which wouldn't. We wanted every sound in the game to have dimensionality. And finally, we wanted to really take on the challenges of presence and locality. Now, when we say presence, we mean the feeling that you're actually there. You entered the matrix. It's not, of course, something we thought we could perfectly achieve.
That would actually be a cool screen shader.
Using just a raw sound, and instead use lots of 3D audio sources for raindrops from the ground, all sorts of locations around you. And at some point, your brain will take a leap and begin to have this feeling of a real presence inside the virtual world of the game. This has the capacity to affect your appreciation of the game, just like music in a game. The concept of locality is simple. It's just your sense of where the audio is coming from. To the right of you, behind you, or above you. This can immerse you further in the game, and it can also directly enhance the game. To use Dead Space as an example.
Oh, yes.
Old school. You're fighting enemies in fairly dark, spooky.
This man knows me.
Back in the day, if you played the game using the TV speakers, you could tell that there was one last enemy growling and hunting you down, but it was difficult to tell quite where that enemy was.
To cite a franchise that's now dead.
The enemy was somewhere on the right, which let you deduce, if you couldn't see it, that it must be somewhere behind and to your right. But with 3D audio with good
Yeah, the horror games are going to be amazing with this.
it's precisely there, and you turn, and you turn. So, how do we know where sound is coming from in the first place? Well, all those bumps and folds in the ear have a meaning, evolutionarily speaking. Based on what direction the sound is coming from, sound waves bounce around inside the ear, there's some constructive and destructive interference, and the result is a change in volume. The phase of the sound also shifts, depending on what path the sound waves are each ear. These volume changes and these shifts are different for each direction and also vary depending on the frequency of the sound. Head size and head shape also impact the sound in similar fashion. The way that the sound changes based on direction and frequency can be encoded in a table called the head-related transfer function, or HRTF. Here's part of it. The vertical axis is the frequency, the horizontal axis is the direction, front, back, left, right, and the color gives the degree of attenuation of the sound at the frequency. The HRTF is as unique to
It's like I'm in school again. Well, yes. That's kind of the point.
Here's how we measure
That's kind of the point, random chatter.
hundreds of different we put a microphone in
They
the
are specifically trying to say they did research on this.
Sit the subject down in the middle of an array of 22 speakers. We then play an audio sweep from each speaker as we rotate the subject. In the course of 10 or 20 minutes, we're able to sample
What? Where the fuck am I typing?
Using an HRTF in rendering audio creates unparalleled quality, but it's computationally expensive. The simplest way to use an HRTF is to process a sound source to make it appear as if it's coming from one of those 1,000 locations we sent. Unfortunately, the processing has to be done in a frequency domain rather than time domain, so there's multiple fast Fourier transforms needed for every sound source for every magnitude. That's a lot of multiplexes. This computational complexity is the determining factor for our strategy, and it meant we had to bite the bullet and design and build a custom hardware unit for 3D audio. Collectively, we're referring to the hardware unit and the proprietary algorithms we run on it as Tempest 3D. The meaning of 3D audio technology should be pretty obvious here. As for Tempest, I feel it really reflects our goals for audio. It suggests a certain intensity of experience and also hints at your presence here. We're calling the hardware unit that we built the Tempest engine. It's based on AMD's GPU technology. We modified the compute unit in such a way as to make it very close to the SPUs of PlayStation 3. Remember when I said that they were ideal for audio? So the Tempest engine has no caches, just like the SPU. All data access is via DMA, just like the SPU. Our target was that it would have more power than a CPU.
What are people asking that they show? Oh, the price? I guess. Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
The goal being to make possible
They are kind of baiting you into watching most of this.
where we ended up is a unit with roughly the same SIMD power and
That's not his fault.
jack cores than PlayStation 4 combined.
They wanted this man to do tech, and he did tech. That's his job, literally.
5,000 sound sources. But of course, we want to use more complex algorithms, and we don't need anything like that kind of sound. It would have been wonderful if a simpler strategy, such as using Dolby Atmos peripherals, could have achieved our goals, but we wanted 3D audio for all, not just those with licensed sound cores for all. Also, we wanted many hundreds of sound sources, not just the 32 Atmos cores. And finally, we wanted to be able to throw an overwhelming amount of processing power at the problem, and it wasn't clear what any peripheral might have inside of it. In fact, with the Tempest engine, we've even got enough power that we can allocate some to the games, to the extent that games want to make use of convolution reverb and other algorithms that are either computationally expensive or need high power.
I suspect a lot of devs are not going to take advantage of most of this, though.
Now,
I have a sneaking
audio
suspicion,
is a major academic
and if they do, it probably won't be that great. I mean, the potential's there.
and a set of algorithms that has to be invented, tuned, or implemented to
And it brings up the question, are they just going to have a PS5 Pro?
For example, use of HRTFs in games is
And you could say, well, maybe they won't because they're putting this much effort in, but I would have told you that about the PS4.
from one of those 1,000
Once stuff comes out and they get feedback for a year or two, they know how to improve it.
we have to handle other
That's generally how shit works.
might not be
It comes out, they know what the fuck's going on.
applications, so we have to blend
They know how to make it better. And then they market it back to you for a slight markup.
sound source might be moved, which needs very special
And don't get me wrong, it works. It's just annoying to imagine paying for a...
or the sound source might have a size to it, meaning it should feel
What's it called?
area rather than a scale. There's also whole categories of approaches to be handled. 3D audio can be implemented using individual processing of 3D sound sources. But alternatively, ambisonics
Okay.
can be used with 3D.
I lost my train of thought. I looked at something else I shouldn't have.
And finally, there's audio devices. The player might be using headphones or TV speakers or have a higher-end surround sound setup with 6 or more speakers, all of which need different approaches. That's a lot of variations. It's nice to have the computational resources of the Tempest
In
engine, but
fact,
it's clear that achieving our ultimate goals with 3D audio is going to be a multi-year, step-by-step process. Having said that, headphone audio implementation is largely complete at this time. It was a natural place for us to start.
I should probably put this up here on the stream.
And therefore, the algorithmic development of implementation.
Let me use studio mode before I hit the wrong file.
Stereo speakers were in the process of implementing virtual surround sound. The idea being that you could hear the sweet spot on TV, then the sound could be made to feel anywhere,
What?
even low. Virtual surround sound has a
What even just happened?
But it's more complex because the left ear can hear the right speaker and vice versa.
You can create an audio, a visual layer with nothing in it. That's interesting.
Now looking at increasing the size of that sweet spot, which is to say,
Got it.
making
Okay.
the area you need to be in to feel the 3D effect larger. And we're also working to boost the sense of locality. Headphone audio is the current gold standard for 3D audio.
Oh, god damn it.
But we're going to see what we can do to bring virtual surround sound to a similar level, after which we'll start in on setups with more speakers, such as 6-channel surround sound. It's now to the point where some of the PlayStation 5 games in development are extensively using these systems.
I might just position this better later, honestly.
PlayStation 4 style stereo audio and our new 3D.
If that's not too small, I'll pull it up at the end.
Over the year, headphones, wow, I could feel a difference. 3D audio has that dimensional feel to it. Conventional stereo audio feels smashed flat by comparison. The improvement is obvious. So, a big advancement, but
They do win an SSD. That is
my brain believe I'm really there.
that is the one thing that they do have going for them.
Explained our target presence. Well, the answer is no.
Also, if you can keep 2 SSDs inside, that would be pretty good.
Whose HRTF was being used? It wasn't mine. It was the default HRTF. The audio team analyzed the hundreds that they measured and chose the one they felt closest fit to the total gain performance. This shows a piece of the default HRTF on the left, and my HRTF on the right. You can see that the general features are much the same, but the details are quite different. With the default HRTF, as I said, the 3D audio sounds pretty great. When I use my HRTF, though, the audio reaches a higher level of realism, which is to say that when using headphones and my HRTF, I occasionally get fooled and even think a sound is coming from the real world when it's actually coming from the game. A corollary to this is that there are a few people whose HRTFs are sufficiently far from the default HRTF, that's the red dot here, that they can toggle between PS4 style and PS5 style audio and not sense as much difference. I've had a few people describe the PlayStation 5's 3D audio as sounding like a bit better stereo audio. Presumably they're the ones at the very edges of the style. Which means what HRTF you're using is key. I'd like everyone to be able to experience what I'm experiencing, but obviously it's not possible to measure the HRTF of every PlayStation user. That means HRTF selection and synthesis are going to be big topics going forward as the Tempest technology matures. At PlayStation 5 launch, we'll be offering a choice of 5 HRTFs. There's a simple test where you pick the one that gives you the best feedback. That's just the first step, though. This is an open...
It's probably going to be one of those first-time boot-up things you set for account. Good lord.
Maybe you'll be sending us a video.
I think I'll pass on that.
And we'll make a 3D model of them and synthesize the HRTF. Maybe you'll play an audio game to tune the HRTF. We'll be subtly changing it as you play and home in on the HRTF that gives you the highest score, meaning that it matches you the best. This is a journey we'll all be taking together over the next few years. Ultimately, we're committing to enabling everyone to experience that next level of realism. Hopefully, I've been able to illustrate a bit about our design and decision-making process today, and why PlayStation 5 has the feature set that it does. Now comes the fun. We get to see how the development community takes advantage of that feature set.
Oh boy.
I'm hoping for the completely unexpected. Will it come from audio, ray tracing, the capabilities of the SSD, or something else? I guess we'll find out soon. Thank you for your time today.
Yeah, that was like a legitimate old school E3 presentation. I mean, that's what E3 was. In fact, since we're done, let me... Yeah, this is all about the system architecture. Just so people are aware, this was not specifically to talk about any games. This was specifically to talk about the hardware. So, I mean, if you weren't a hardware person, you wouldn't enjoy this. What the hell? Oh, sweet. It's this asshole. What was I gonna do? Oh, shit, Snowman King. Did I cover up the stupid chat here? Because I just clicked onto my own stream. Why is it not appearing on my anything? Hold on a minute. Something weird's happening, and I don't like it at all. Yeah, what the hell? He showed up a long time ago. Maybe I didn't see it. Top video game viral outbreaks? Oh, well, someone's not taking Corona too well. The Last of Us one, I think, is the most legit. I think that could actually happen. Because it does already happen in ants. It just needs to jump the species barrier, dude. It'll be pretty lit. Obviously, there's other things in the contention running for that. I'm sorry, I was actually paying attention to it. I know that's kind of rare. But for me to really focus on it, I kind of have to pay full attention. Because it is in-depth. Like, some of it is definitely stuff you kind of have to be knowledgeable about PC gaming for. You have to be completely into to really get a good grasp on. It's pretty insane to consider how much that they had to put into this console. And Microsoft still kind of beat them, which is the other sad part. Microsoft, they are not drilling on this fucking building right now. They are 100% not. But, yeah, Xbox still has them beat in a lot of ways, which I think is just a little bit tragic. Because I know that for Sony, they definitely want to retain what good momentum they have since they lost all of it for the PS3. And that's one thing that I specifically wanted to cite, is that the PS3, what's under the hood doesn't necessarily indicate who's going to win the console generation. In fact, usually it can flip-flop to the opposite. Depending on the games, depending on how the company handles it, depending on the price point, depending on how developers want to work for it. I mean, that's one thing that we saw with the Wii U. Even though the Wii U had pretty decent stuff under the hood, nobody wanted to code for it, unfortunately. Nintendo did not take a very strong stance at acquiring third parties. At the same time, that's what happened with the PS3. The PS3 was way stronger than the Xbox 360. But the 360 won the generation because it was cheaper. It had bigger games, at least initially. And they didn't have bad PR, like saying people need to go get a second job to afford it. It was a whole lot of stuff that contributed to the... Oh my god, really? Well, you know what? That's perfect, because we can basically almost wrap it the fuck up here. And that's amazing, honestly. There was one thing I wanted to show. I don't know if I'll find it. E3, what was it? 1996? Was it 96 or 95? Shit. I don't want to click on this video because it looks like it's edited. Let's see if we can actually find this real quick. Like, actual E3, 1995. So, oh, I don't know when this took place. Hold on. Yeah, wait. When did this take place? Hold on. I gotta look. Might not even be able to see it, honestly. Or maybe it is, and I just totally was not paying attention. If this was held in June of 1995, I was just born at this point. So this is almost as old as I am, which is the really crazy part. Let's see if we're not gonna watch this whole thing. But this is what I was watching. Or was it? It was this video, or was something like this video? This is legit like an OG tape recording of E3. Like, look at this shit. Who the fuck is Rayman anymore? And this is back when Rayman looked like that, before he became like, you know, metal and goth emo. A far cry from the big, you know, party that E3 is this year. Yeah, this is what my childhood was, kind of. I was a few years behind this. All the commercials and everything. This is actually like a piece of art, honestly. They need to permanently document this. Hey, look, Rayman 1! I remember playing this as a kid. Like I always say, I never got past like a couple levels in. Because I was never good at this game. Yeah, see? I actually played this on a stream one time. I still have the data. I think I played on my Wii U. Which is honestly the only way I'm ever going to beat Rayman 1 is by playing it on my fucking Wii U. I might have covered up the chat, actually. I apologize to Snowman King. I really fucking... I've been terrible. I'm sorry. I always fucking forget. Oops. I'm clicking on the wrong thing. Here we go. Patella the Ferry. Yeah. This was state of the fucking art. The C button? Oh, is this a Genesis version? Or not the Genesis, I'm sorry. The, No, it is the Gen... What the fuck? How many consoles has this game been on? This is like one of those games that got ported to everything. Genesis. No, it's not on the Genesis. I don't know what the C button is off the top of my head. It definitely is a Sega console, though. For sure. Atari... Sega Saturn. Sega Saturn. That's what it is. In 95, Rayman 1 was released on the Jaguar, the PlayStation, MS-DOS, and Sega Saturn. Ask someone under the age of 18 what MS-DOS is. I guarantee you get no fucking response. Or if you do, then, you know, maybe they're out there. I guarantee you don't get an amazing response from most of them. Now look, the Soul Star series, that one's somewhere. Actually, before I shit on it, I want to see if we get to the conference. Let me skip through this. Someday I'll sit through this, actually. I probably should. Let's thumbs it up. I need to sit through this eventually. There was one I was watching, the dude gave a legit press conference. Like this might have been the year they split from the other what was it? The other convention? Let me see if I can find it. They split E3 away from like the Consumer Electronics Show, I think it was, because they specifically wanted to here we go. This might be it. No, this isn't it. But this is literally what they used to do at E3, because I'm not gonna find it. I'm about to end the fucking stream anyway. So they would just have a dude come up and give a basic presentation about everything. And that's kind of how it was. Is this it? It was like a 30-minute video. I don't know if I'll find it. But some guy came up and he basically presented like everything. And I'm not going to find it now, which kind of makes me sad. But a lot of these E3s were very much just a dude talking and showing a PowerPoint slide. And that's kind of what we got today. And that's why it was kind of a nostalgic feeling for me, because it's kind of like, dude, that's fucking intense. That's crazy. And I absolutely 1,000,000% kind of was vibing with it a little bit. But unfortunately, that doesn't necessarily translate to... I don't know why I put that back up. It doesn't really translate to a presentable... what's the word I'm looking for? A presentation meant for the average person. That's kind of by design, though. Like, once you start to impact and bring out a lot of stuff, you kind of don't really get that anymore. Because most people have no fucking clue what any of that means. And I feel bad for Cerny. I don't think he did anything wrong, necessarily. It's just that just does not work for people. They don't... You know, they don't follow it. They don't like it. It's not something that they're interested in. They just want to see... Can I zoom into this and not fuck up my zoom for everything else? They just want to see the next big console hardware. Or not hardware, I'm sorry. They just kind of want to know what it does and see what it does in action. And I can get that because I'm kind of a learner by practicality, I guess it would be. But, I mean, that's why they kind of prefaced it. They didn't say they would be revealing any games. I guess next time they have to outright state, don't show up if you don't like computer terminology and talking about all this other random stuff. So it is what it is. I think it was at least interesting to watch from start to finish. We do know what's what now about the consoles. We just don't know how they look. I think Xbox did talk about this. But I'm going to be out of here in a minute. What is Shawnee Dogs doing? Shout out to my man Shawnee Dogs, by the way. My a longtime friend of mine. He's been in some of my content. He does Call of Duty for the most part. So if you actually watch this at some point and you're a fan of me, you would probably be a fan of him, because him and I, we go way back. He's a big friend of mine, and he does a lot of different stuff. He does mostly Call of Duty videos, and I do kind of miss the good old days. We would do I think he was in a playthrough of mine. We did a couple of things, mostly. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have much else. And, the true cost of Black Ops, of course. I will go over this at some point. I will also be re-going over this to see how it stacks up. I only have the archive. I don't have the original link. I went over this a long time ago. I still have my YouTube search result, which I cut off, so that's nice. What is it? Hail Mary? What the fuck? Anthem. Let's see. I never uploaded an Anthem gameplay. Here you go. My favorite stream ever that I ever did. Remember these streams? Now, you had to be here for this era. There's actually a reason I got rid of this big green screen vaporwave overlay, because it literally would lag the shit. Oh, oops, I'm on the wrong thing. It would lag the shit out of my computer, so I got rid of it. What the fuck is going on? Okay, I'm getting rid of this as a layer. It's in the way. Jesus. I used to fucking have all this, and then I got rid of it. It became too fucking annoying. I hated it. Can we get into this? What the fuck? You had to be here for these OG streams. What the hell? Here we go.
It's just miserable to
It
even
is.
consider they had all this possible help they could have had.
Absolutely.
Not to mention that EA and Soderlund kind of fucked them with the whole Frostbite change.
No
They
moving
had
background,
all-
which is what we have today. Big
They
ups.
could have just sat down, figured something out, and just had a product. They just decided to sit on it until basically the last.
I put in the Anthem tag.
And it really. 50 years from now, it's gonna be a field trip. Like, it's gonna become a national museum.
I had people on for this? Damn, I was supposed to do this. This was the next big one. God damn it, man. And I have shit-talked Kotaku, but I have to hand it to Jason Schreier. This was fucking great. I'm sorry. This was fucking amazing. I had such a great time reading everything about this. It was a fucking trip. I loved it. He put so much work. I even gave him some clicks for this, because I had the archive late. But this shit was amazing, honestly. What was this stream again? And then we're done here, honestly. What the fuck?
11 minutes for adventure and need.
What the fuck? I went to heal? I don't remember this.
That is the
I don't remember. When the fuck was this? February 21st. Alright, whatever. Apparently this happened. Oh yeah, this is the stream where I had played all those GameCube games. I remember now. Yeah. And then we ended because we went to go watch what was it? Queen of Thorns? What was the fucking movie? Something of Kingdom of Thorns? It was probably one of the most generic movies I think I've ever seen. It was not a great watch at all. But whatever. It is what it is. But I am officially done here. There's really nothing else to even talk about or say. I have some new clips from Stephen A. I need to process. I have some new other things I need to do. But most of all, I need to get the fuck out of here and do the stuff I actually need to do today. Unless I can get these guys on. Probably won't show up. If I can't do this, then we are actually done, because I'm not reviewing a bunch of old streams. They keep putting Final Fantasy VII Complete Story here. Oh shit, it's the Naruto Shippuden shit.
Alright, so welcome everybody to...
Yes, very nice. I'm actually surprised. This was, what, 7.5 hours? Yeah. If you told me in 2012 I would be uploading 7.5 hour long videos, I would have asked you, am I like a sponsored person from YouTube? And honestly, the answer's no. The answer's fucking no. Yeah, that totally didn't happen. But that's just because YouTube allows it now. They don't care. They let you do whatever. And honestly, I'm okay with that. I got a bunch of Nintendo things. Oh yeah, the Nindies. Any Nindies that look good here? I heard something about I Am Dead. That's about it. I don't know anything else about it. Exit the Gungeon. Yeah, that's about it. I missed the Nindies stream. I was supposed to do that, and I totally didn't. Just because I was asleep. I mean, do you want me to say anything else? There's not really much else to say. I was asleep. And I didn't see it. And yeah, that was actually a thing that happened. Good Lord. But, yeah, I guess I'm done. I'm just killing time at this point. I'm not doing anything serious. I will probably stream again either tonight or tomorrow for sure. I mean, tomorrow is a normal stream day, honestly. So we'll probably just do that. And then, yeah, that's pretty much all I have planned. I think that it was a pretty good reveal. I think they talked about a lot of cool stuff. It just sucks that most people, they don't care for it or they don't understand it, which is fair enough. I mean, if you don't need to look under the hood necessarily, as long as you know it works. I think that's kind of what it ultimately boils down to, is they just gotta fucking make good games. And I know Sony will. So it's not really Sony, it's just people have to take advantage of this hardware. Because the devs of the console can provide a ton of stuff, but if nobody takes advantage of it, what good is it really, you know? So yeah, that's about it. I mean, the ball is in the studio's hands, and they'll figure it out. Or maybe they won't. I mean, that's kind of what Anthem was, so. Because there was a time when people would have told you Anthem was going to be the biggest game ever, and nobody could really tell you what it was going to be about. And then when it came out, nobody wanted to play it. Nobody, like, it's not even like people wanted to talk about why it was underwhelming. Nobody wanted to even talk about it. They were like, oh, is it good? No, goodbye. And nobody ever talked about it again. And that's why, till the day I die, it will be the forefront of my mind that Anthem was just this massive clusterfuck that just was a nightmare from start to fucking finish. Nothing good really came from it. And to be completely honest with you, nobody even remembers what it was about in the first place. I still have the footage I never uploaded. I fucking never finished playing it. It was boring as shit. Even with friends. It's just us talking and shooting stuff in the background. And that's why I say shooter looters is one of the worst, or at least one of the hardest genres to make. Because a shooter looter, like, at its core, is a very boring fucking thing to do. It's not very engaging. And to make a good shooter looter, you have to find a way to take a formula that's boring and not engaging and make it fun to play. And I don't know if they can. I think that, like, they're easy to make but hard to make well because of that. And Destiny itself has suffered from it. And there was a time when Destiny was like the forerunner of that. But I don't really have much to say about any of that. I mean, what am I going to say that I didn't say the day I finished Destiny? Other than it's a repetitive Halo wannabe. Just set in an open world with a lack of mission structure. Because at least a Halo mission will last for about 10, 20 minutes. You beat the campaign in like 4 or 5 hours, and that's it. It doesn't try to drain your time anymore unless you want to play it on a higher difficulty. Or unless you want to get a whole bunch of stuff. That's literally all that a fucking Halo mission will do. A Destiny mission will incentivize you to want to farm for 800 hours and accomplish nothing. Is this anything? Yeah, Skywalker Saga is coming in 2020. That's about it. I don't know if they're remaking port levels and stuff. Eventually I'll play Fallen Order, but that's about it. There's not really any news with that, per se. And, I mean, Star Wars is Star Wars, to be honest. I just really enjoyed, as a voice crack, I really just enjoyed Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, which ironically is no longer complete. I just like that. I thought that was one of my it still is one of my favorite games. I guess I'm obligated to play the other ones, so whatever. I never finished episode 7, but to be fair, who really gives a shit? And, I mean, at this point, yeah, I don't have anything else to say. So, I will stream again, eventually. And, yeah, it was fun. Big ups. And, have a good day. And, I mean, let me know what console you're getting, because I'm probably going to get both, honestly. Since I didn't get an Xbox One, that'll be a good way to be able to play the Xbox One games I didn't play. And if it plays Xbox Original, even bigger ups. If it doesn't play Xbox Original, I might not get it. At least not anytime soon. Because that's kind of the point. But I guess we'll have to see what happens, won't we?